What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have a drugstore makeup tutorial. I waved my hair today and I'm really feeling it, although it is really voluminized. It's a little bit on the puffy side, but I realized in order to not get it to be puffy, you have to straighten your hair pretty sleek first, which I didn't do, so I'll do that next time. But yeah, I'm excited. I have a bunch of some of my drugstore faves and then some new items that I'm excited to try. Like for example, I just got these in the mail the other day and it's really cool because they came in like an organizer. If you follow me on IG story, then you saw it. But I feel like I got a little Milani Shadow Vault in the mail. Like it looks really cool. So there was a bunch of new palettes and honestly, these are gorgeous. I'm excited to test the quality, but the colors and the shades though, gorge. So I'm really excited to try. Also, for today's look, I'm going to be leaning towards something semi-springy, which is weird because it's still January, but I'm gonna show you guys what really inspired me. I'm not doing this exact look, but it just like inspired me to do something like it. It was this picture that Kylie posted on her Instagram story. It's like a really pretty ombre peach pink eye, but I'm not gonna do the exact same thing, but I kind of was inspired to play with peaches and pinks. For primer, I haven't really tried out any new primers recently, so I don't want to like try anything too new and like mess up for the first time and mess up my foundation. So I'm just gonna go with like a tried and true. This is the NYX Pore Filler. Okay, so for foundation, I decided to go for a holy grail of mine from the drugstore, and it is the Maybelline Superstay. There's some new drugstore foundations out there that your girl needs to try. So yeah, but I don't have any of them, and I also didn't want this to be like a first impression style video. I wanted it to include products that I know that I love, and then there's a few little things that I'm trying that's new, but I feel like foundation's a big thing. So I decided to stick with something that I know I love. I think I'm gonna be shade 220 today, and then I'm just gonna use a sponge to apply it. This foundation is amazing because it is so full coverage and it just has a really nice soft matte finish. For this look today, even though I want to play with peaches and pinks and those shades kind of scream dewy to me, for some reason I want to do like a soft matte, like a really soft glam, soft matte type of but I feel like it took me forever to blend out, so I'm not sure if I'm like in love with this. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not in love with it. Anyways, shall we get to cream contouring? So I decided to use the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F14. So I am going to use my favorite contour brush. This is the e.l.f. Precision Airbrush brush, I believe it's called. with like a beaming highlight. We're gonna use the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Loose Powder. I love this. This is in the shade Light. I am going a little bit of lumosity to it, like it's not completely matte. So I know some of you might consider this overkill on the powder, but I love a really bright under eye. I think it really just shapes and highlights your face, especially since I'm not gonna really be using highlighter today. So this is the NYX finishing powder in the shade Banana. And I love this because every banana powder is just way too yellowy and just simply too dark for me. With this one though, it is so bright. Really brightens up that under eye. So I am going to be using blush, and I decided to pull out the Morphe blush palette, the 8W, and I think I'm gonna use this really pretty like natural pinky shade because I am not planning on applying highlighter. I wanna add dimension to the cheek and interest. So I was gonna use this because I've actually really been loving it. This is the Milani Rose Glow Highlighting Palette. It is really gorgeous. If you guys are in the market for like a really pretty highlighter palette from the drugstore, definitely recommend this one. So for the brows, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. This one's in the shade Chocolate, I think, yeah, Chocolate Mousse. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that off camera quickly because it's gonna take forever, and I will be right back. All right, now that I just had a summer walk or listening party while I did my brows, I'm feeling pumped, I'm feeling good. Okay, so time to do the eyes. Like I said, I am definitely going to be mainly focusing on using these Milani palettes. I kind of organized them. The top two are the ones I think I'm going to use the most, which is this pastel type of one because it has some really great peach and like pinky tones. I think I'm gonna stick towards here. And then this has a lot of great neutrals that I will use as well. But if you guys are looking for a one-stop shop for a peachy palette from the drugstore, the CoverGirl one is bomb, and the quality, I'm telling you guys, is really good. I love CoverGirl. This is the CoverGirl True Naked Peach Punch palette. It is great if you are just looking for some peachy tones. So I'm gonna go into the Gilded Pastel palette, and I am going to use shade, I'm gonna start with Third Date, but it's really light. I'm probably gonna end up using Super Bloom like right after. So basically Third Date. just to add a little definition in there. Back into the shade Super Bloom, I'm just gonna make sure I go over that so that I don't lose any of that pigment. And I wanna make sure that I actually like tilt my head back and really like sweep it into the inner portion of the eye, because that's gonna allow it to just like, you know, expand and flow upwards, really show. I am going to go ahead and take the shade Hit Snooze from the Gilded Nude palette, and I'm gonna switch over to a Morphe M506, and I am just only going to apply that here, just to give it some definition. So back into Extra Basic and Fembot, I'm gonna drag that right underneath here. And I'm gonna kind of drag it out too, because I want there to be this like triangular cat eye type of shape going. So I'm gonna go back into Super Bloom, but I'm gonna switch over to a Sigma Shader Lid E56, which is just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to pack that on the under, like the lower lash, but in the inner portion, because I feel like that'll really help it to stand out and come full circle. So even though I want to keep this look really matte, I am going to add this shade up here called Disco Chick, because it's a really bright, or maybe I should use Swipe Bright. Yeah, to keep the shade matte, because this one's more like a pearl. Not a pearl, it's like a whatever. Anyways, Swipe Bright right here, because it's like a bright shade, just to really brighten that inner corner. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this little brush from e.l.f. This is the small precision brush. Take the shade Swipe Right. I'm actually gonna take a tiny bit of Disco Chick. You know what, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of Disco Chick. It's more shimmery. And I'm just going to put that really in the inner corner. I am only gonna put like a little bit right in that center, because I don't wanna cover the peach that I put. So I am just gonna do it right in that little spot. That way, when you see the eyes, you see that little glimmer of pop, and then it immediately like bursts into like a peachy shade. Okay, so I kind of feel like doing a brown shadow liner, so I am going to use the e.l.f. Shadow Brow and Liner palette. This is like a staple. I feel like everyone needs this. I actually keep this in my everyday makeup drawer because it is just the perfect palette. It has a bunch of nudes in it. Then I'm gonna actually switch over to the small angled brush by e.l.f. because I feel like it's more And then last thing I'm gonna do, I really wanted to use the Morphe setting spray, but for some reason I must have lost it during my move because I have not been able to find it anywhere. So I am just gonna use the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. So here we are. That is pretty much it for today's makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me play with a bunch of drugstore goodies and doing this all matte soft glam makeup look that kind of has these peachy pinky tones. And I'm pretty happy with how the look turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give this video a like, thumbs up if you love when I feature drugstore products, and I will definitely do more videos. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.